In Season 9, Jamie married Officer Eddie Janko, which made the Reagan family a little bit bigger, Vanessa Ray. When the officers met for the first time in Season 4, they tried to stop getting along for the sake of being professional. For Ray, the fact that they are both in the same line of work has been a strength. Ray makes Blue Bloods a lot of fun, even though Janko is a tough cop. Here's how she became known for being funny on set. Starting us off, Blue Bloods' Vanessa Ray has a hilarious reputation for doing this on set. The show Blue Bloods is very proud of its two main themes, family and service. The Reagan family is led by police commissioner and patriarch Frank Reagan, played by Tom Selleck. There are 3 generations of cops in the family, including former commissioner Len Cariou's Henry, Detective Danny, portrayed by Donnie Wahlberg, Sergeant Jamie, played by Will Estes, and Assistant Director Attorney Erin, who is the family's top legal mind. Vanessa told Nerds of Color, an online community of fans, "I love that they see the world differently and challenge each other to be better, do better, and go farther." She also went on to say, "I also love that they are these two nonsense cops that both have this extremely gentle side that they almost exclusively show each other." Ray says that the family dinner scenes on Blue Bloods are at the heart of the show's appeal, and maybe most people's favorite parts. Even though the Reagan family dinner scenes are important, they can be hard on the actors who spend anywhere from 5 to 8 hours filming them while pushing around their plates. The long shoots can make the actors a little slap-happy. Ray in particular said that she couldn't help but laugh during the long scenes. "I don't want to name names," Ray said, "but historically, there is a certain end of the table that gets the church giggles around hour 2 of the filming of the dinner scenes. I may or may not be on the end of that table. I'm absolutely on the end of that table, actually." Ray may not have named her co-workers, but Will Estes gave fans a reason to think that he too may have messed up takes. To be fair, he didn't say that he wouldn't be one of the people laughing at the less serious end of the table. He said, "Vanessa and I laugh all day long together, and we got in trouble because of it. Vanessa can even jest right up until the action, and I have to beg for a few minutes to get myself together before we start. From the outside, it might look like we're just messing around, but we're both very serious about our shows." Next, Blue Bloods' Vanessa Ray compares the show to Cinderella. One has to wonder why people continue to watch Blue Bloods season after season for such a significant amount of time, especially now that the show will begin its 13th season. Ray possesses a thought on the matter. At this point in the show, we get to the main course of the family dinner, which I believe to be the show's defining characteristic. People keep coming back because they think to themselves, "I know that no matter how crazy things get, I can watch these people sit down, fight, make jokes, and tell funny stories about their first kisses, all of which are activities that you do with your family." As a result, they feel comfortable coming back. She discussed it further with the Nerds of the Color in the course of an interview. Fans have developed a strong attachment to many of the relationships that the characters have with one another, particularly the partnerships. While it is not a secret that Blue Bloods is really about family, it is a secret that fans have developed a strong attachment to many of the partnerships. Characters Eddie and Jamie, who had been avoiding dealing with their emotions for a long time, decided to tie the knot in the end. People expressed genuine joy as a result of this. Are there any aspects of Cinderella that come to mind when you watch the show's epic love story? And here's why Eddie's story is similar to Cinderella. We really look at what you're good at doing, why they became police officers in the first place, and if they're helping their community the way they wanted to. This is a bit like the second half of the Cinderella story, Ray said to CBS News. You go to the ball thinking you'll meet the love of your life, change the world, and make it a better place. Then, when you get to the ball, you realize, oh, this is the ball, it's a tough place to get around. Even though the comparison seems strange at first, it makes sense when you think about it. A police officer's job is to help people and keep them safe while putting the bad guys in jail. At first, that might seem clear and even easy, but it's a whole different reality when you have to do it. Since season 4, when we started watching, we've seen Eddie grow, fall in love with her partner, do everything she can to help victims, and try to make the world a better place in any way she can. And at least in the episode about her wedding with Jamie Reagan, she got a taste of her happy ending. As a bonus, we talk about things you didn't notice in the Blue Bloods pilot episode. First, Jamie's got a new girl and the kitchen got a remodel. Jamie Reagan seems to have only dated Officer Eddie Janko at this point. If you watch the pilot episode again, you'll be surprised to learn that Jamie was engaged to a smart brunette, Sydney Davenport. played by Dylan Moore, long before Janko joined the team in Season 4. This one is different from most pilot episodes because it has a 5-episode storyline. Jamie Reagan's decision to join the police academy after law school is one of his most important traits. His older brother died in a suspicious and untimely manner at work. Sydney is helpful to the Reagans in the pilot episode, but she isn't happy with her fiancé's decision. She can't handle being married to a police officer, so they call off the wedding and she moves on. The set is one of the most important parts of a TV show, but viewers often forget about it. Sets can be culturally significant after a show. Who doesn't remember Central Perk from Friends, or Jerry's apartment from Seinfeld, where all the pranks and conversations happened? Blue Blood's most important set may be where all those beloved family dinners are made. In the first episode of Blue Bloods, that set isn't what you'd expect. The kitchen is smaller, for example. Also, the cabinets started out white but changed for a more relaxing brown. No reason was given for the change. Maybe it felt more like home, or maybe the darker color fit better with the show's dark themes, or maybe the set was just rebuilt when the show was picked up. The kitchen has become an essential part of the show. The family gathers here to talk, tease, and argue. How many times have two characters been in the kitchen and viewers already knew what was going to happen? Finally, Nikki was played by a different actor, and Frank had a girlfriend. Most TV shows or movie franchises have to recast at some point, whether it's because an actor has a conflict of interest like Terrence Howard, who played James Rhodey Rhodes in the MCU before Don Cheadle took over, or because the actor wants to move on to bigger and better things. Some of the biggest recastings on TV happen between the pilot and the rest of the episodes. This is mostly because there is time between shooting the pilot and the rest of the season. Sammy Gale's Nikki Reagan went through this kind of change. Gale has become the face of the younger Reagans, but in the pilot episode, she had a different, face. A young woman named Marlene Lawston was the first person to play Nikki. There isn't much information about why they switched actresses, but since then, her IMDb page shows that she hasn't done anything else since her short role on Blue Bloods over a decade ago. We can probably assume that she quit acting to pursue something else. There are two surprising things that Frank Reagan and his youngest son Jamie have in common in the first episode. The first thing they have in common is that they both have relationships. The second is that unfortunately neither of them works. Jamie's girlfriend leaves him because she can't handle his job, but because his father lied, the relationship between them ends. In the same way that Jamie's love life is shown on screen, so is Frank's. The only difference is that Frank's love life ends in just one episode. In the pilot, Frank's girlfriend, Kelly Davidson, portrayed by Andrea Roth, is a reporter who turns out to be using him for leads to big stories. During the episode, Frank is taken away and Kelly gets her news team together. They get to the crime scene before the police do. After this, Frank ends the relationship, which makes sense. Frank is very closed off about his personal life, going to great lengths to keep his relationships, the few that there are, secret even from his family. And after what Kelly did in the first episode, it's easy to understand why. Well, unfortunately, guys, that is all the time we have for today. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Until next time, cheers.